Welcome to Amber Reacts. She's been waiting for you. Testing in 3, 2, Amber Reacts.
This one was a recommendation from @ViolinCredible. So I'm going to put you, of course, up in the corner. And I was told this one gets overlooked a lot, but it was part of the Money Games, so I wanted to look at it. It's called The Story of Eden. So I'm curious about this one, and it sounded like it's going to start like a video game. So yes, this was recommended to do The Story of Eden, and yeah, so I wanted to take a look at this. It wasn't quite as long, so I figured I would just take a look and see what it's all about. And I'm loving getting the behind the scenes of everything anyway, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. So we're gonna just dive right in.
Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own, and so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one, the once called bringer of light, Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeliness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God, to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angered. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge.
The way he is filming this, and mind you, I have never partook myself, but the way he's filming this, it very much portrays to me the way people explain when they get on shrooms and try and they see outside themselves. It's just the way he filmed it, particularly with the talking and everything. It gives it that feel that you're like outside yourself, hearing this other story, this other version, of something we've been told a million times, just because of how he's telling it. It's actually very interesting to hear it depicted this way. Again, just a little speck inside his brain, which is incredible.
Deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
the only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to
death.
This could be seen as an act of
mercy But the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
Were initially cut off from this knowledge,
may imply some part of God was afraid that if human, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to
bite too.
in the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in
We
the
were
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo His.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts,
But-
but as the most
powerful
Being in the universe
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
Doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply
This is a very interesting way to put everything. And I know this is something people are so afraid to talk about because you're either, religious or you're not, or you're spiritual instead of religious, and all these ways to put it. I have always respected every opinion, and for me it's more of a curiosity of what brings people to certain opinions or certain choices. The way he's breaking this down, I mean, if you've read the Bible, it's accurate. I've had questions. There are questions, it's there. You start to, as you just get older and kind of see things, it's very interesting, the story itself. And I've always wondered that myself, like, why put the tree there if at all? But you've seen movie after movie where people are constantly either looking for the fountain of youth or the tree of life. They're still searching for that answer to fix the problems that have come with everything, with those choices in the beginning. There's a lot of that I see. And now we do see this thing with the scales. We're not supposed to be on the fence one way or the other, but you see the scales of balance, and each of us has good and evil in us. We do, whether you try to or not. We fight it all the time, and it's constantly something we see, so it's very hard not to. And that just those things, being made in his image, like why did that, even with Lucifer, why are we so deep seated with these bad parts? Like, what makes us that way if we're created in that image? So I can totally understand. I can also see why people probably don't pick this one as much, because it's a very intimidating, like, don't lean on this area, and something it's a gray area we don't want to talk about. But I love having discussions about stuff like this. So I hope if you guys do watch it, or if you want to share in the comments, please, by all means, like, feel free to share your opinion. And I hope people don't get heated over someone else's discussion. I will try to come in and comment with you guys. Like, I really do genuinely like these conversations. I think it should be an open and free discussion that people can have and not have to be afraid of their personal opinion and what they believe. This is just it's such an interesting way. Again, something I just would love to just sit and just be picking his brain. I would love to get in his thoughts and just see. I have a feeling we could just talk forever.
a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand in 2023 as creatures.
Just a little bit. Rewind that just a little bit right there.
In the first place. The constantly looping bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand, in 2023, as creatures with free will. The only creatures that understand and define good from bad. Creatures with the potential of a god. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians
and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land.
We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us. Not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this...
Oh, this is just... This is hitting everything. This is hitting everything. Thank you, Ren, for not being afraid to say this, because I know a lot of people are right now, and every bit of this is spot on. This is so absolutely spot on. We cannot blame one or the other for anything. This is our personal decisions that have chosen, that have led us in this path, and we just keep mindlessly following and following and following. And I have said this before about how we keep going. Actually, I believe it was a video from Dimash where he covers a lot of the war situation and everything, and they call it insanity for a reason. You keep going down the same path over and over, expecting a different outcome, and it's not going to change, and it's not going to change unless we change it. But we just keep on going, keep going down the same path, keep fighting for the same things, keep struggling for the same things, keep watching destruction over and over and over, and it's not fixing anything. We're not getting in any better place. We're getting closer to hell than we are to paradise, is all I can say. I'm gonna rewind this little piece too. This is definitely hitting a lot.
Streets. How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Oh, this was really good. I hope everyone will listen to the ending line he just put there, and that we can believe in us and we can all do this together. And start it in a small way in the comments. Don't be afraid to talk, and there's no reason to attack each other for your opinions. Everyone can have their own, and guess what? We're all still here listening. So if we can hear this message and at least do that on a small scale, I would love this to be a space that everyone can feel free and comfortable to be themselves and not feel like you have to be afraid to say something, because we're all here and we all have opinions and we all have sadness and we all have anger and we all have all these emotions right now with everything going on. And you know what it comes down to, following religion or politics or anything else, it doesn't matter, because none of it's fixing anything, because it's just become so polluted. So it's if we can start on a small scale, at least there's that. And I look forward to having discussions with you guys and just being able to be open and honest. I absolutely love this. Okay, so here we go with this. And of course, to all of the renegades, I look forward to seeing you in the comments. And until next time.